I'm Benito Huerta, and this painting is titled The Portrait of My Father, Benito Refugio Huerta Lozano. My father and I had a kind of contentious relationship as I was growing up, and I went to graduate school. I was reflecting on our relationship, and I had a small photograph, probably about maybe 4 by 4 inches, and it was black and white. And basically he was had the same posture in the photograph. And because it was small and black and white, I ended up wanting to do the portrait. The way I kind of went about it is drew the whole figure out, kind of just as a sketch, and then started painting. But where I concentrated the painting on was the face. When I finished the face part, and I was happy with the way it was looking, even though he looks very stern, I felt like I got him in the painting. And then I continue with the rest of the painting. The rest of the painting was easier for me as a result to finish. I asked my father to come up for my graduation at New Mexico State, where I graduated from graduate school. And he and my younger brother, who's 9 years younger than me, came up, and I did not tell him that I did this painting. And when he saw the painting, he later told me that he didn't like it. A few years later, I offered the painting to him, and he didn't want it. And then I guess maybe 2 or 3 years later, he said, okay, I'd like to have it. A few years after that, he got broken into, and so he called me up and said, you know, I got broken into, you better take the painting for safety, for safe reasons. And so I took the painting back. The detail that to me feels more like him is obviously his face. I have our last name, Lozano, on there. And the reason I have that, at that time, I was kind of like labeling things when I decided to become an artist. This was after a year or 2 years. I told my father, I said, I'm going to just use Benito Huerta. Well, I never knew my grandfather. I mean, my father never knew him. When I said I was going to be using the name Benito Huerta, he said, well, you should use Lozano and honor my mother. So again, this is part of the contentious relationship we had. And it became problematic later on because when I was getting some attention as an artist, I would be introducing my father, and before I could say his name, somebody would say, oh, it was nice to meet you, Mr. Huerta. When I got, I think it was about when I got to the 7th version of the face, the way the paint was applied, the coloration, the intensity of his expression, the kind of like the brushwork, the way it's painted, the painterliness of it, all of that to me was something that it just kind of like, it all came together. I got him to, it looked like him, but it never felt like him. So, you know, if you saw it in this previous stage, you might have said, well, that looks like, you know, that looks pretty good. But what I really wanted to capture is the essence of the person. And that's that was what was missing in the other ones. And in this version, it came across to me. Yeah, sometimes I think it's more difficult to paint someone that you know, because you have that connection, and this, in the sense, an intimacy, and that you know a person a lot more than just a passing acquaintance, which is why I had difficulty in trying to get the essence of his persona in the painting. And I already known the history of his relationship with his mother and all the hardships he's had, going to Korea and fighting in the Korean War and being wounded. I knew all the stuff, all the racism that he faced when he came back from Korea, when he started his business. So I began to realize that this person is made up of his own history, like we all are. And yes, we are all also made up of our upbringing, our parents' influence or non-influence, the friends that we have, the environment we live in, all those things make up this person. And so it was more like an acknowledgement that this is an individual separate from me who has their own history.